Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial series SDL2. In this video I will be showing you how to create a window. To do that, you click on the name of your project, right click, new file, select C++ file and click next. Give it a name, I'm gonna call mine window, click enter and click create. Now you're gonna have an implementation and a header file. We're gonna click on the implementation file. Here you want to delete all the unnecessary garbage. Then you want to say class window. In the class we're gonna type public and then type window, open bracket, close brackets. This is going to be the constructor of a window class. Next, we want to create a void function, which is going to be create window. This is going to be the function that's going to create the window itself. Then we're going to create a couple of private variables. The first one is going to be SDL underscore window. And we're going to call the variable SDL underscore window. So we have to include the libraries into the header file so that it recognizes it. Next, we're going to create the SDL surface variable, SDL underscore surface, SDL texture, which is gonna be called SDL underscore texture as a variable, SDL renderer, and those four variables we just created are gonna be essentially what is gonna make up the build-up of the window. So we're also gonna create a integer w width for the width of the window, and integer w for short, the short for window is gonna be w height. So renderer, right. So this is about everything we're gonna need in our header file. Next, we're gonna switch to our implementation. Here we're also gonna include the two libraries. Now we want to initialize the constructor, and we hold on like this, and we're gonna initialize all the variables we just declared in the header file, which are texture, SDL renderer, SDL surface, and the last one was SDL window right here. And we're gonna initialize all of them as a null pointer, hard word to say, just like this, right. And we also have the two integers of width and height. We're gonna set them to 200, so it's gonna be a square window we create, just like this. And this should be about it for the constructor of window. The last thing we want to do is create or implement, is a better word to say, the create window function. So here we want to start off with initializing SDL. Then we're gonna have to load an image to the surface, which is gonna be done like this. I have an image right here. I have to copy the path to the image and give it as put it as a string in there. Next, we want to create the window. SDL, create window. Here it's gonna expect us a title, window. Then the position of the window. And it's gonna expect a width. I misspelled it, hey? Or whatever, you can go ahead and write it in its proper way. And the last argument is gonna be SDL, window shown. Now, we created the surface, we created the window, now we have to create the renderer and the texture. So you're gonna say for the renderer equals SDL underscore create renderer from surface. Since we have created the surface, we can say oh, this is the texture I just opened, eh? Well, whatever, we're gonna need it as well, so let's say texture here and go to the SDL renderer equals SDL underscore create renderer. There you go. That's the one we want to see. So you're gonna put in the SDL window. As index, we're gonna say -1 and 0 flags. Underneath, you're gonna put as first argument the SDL renderer, and as second argument the SDL surface. This is it. So now we have pretty much created a value for all the 4 variables. And finally, we can actually go ahead and start creating the window. So we're gonna need 2 arguments for that. The first is gonna be SDL render copy. It's not this one. Well, actually, is it this one? So it's gonna expect you to say SDL renderer and SDL texture. Right, and this is gonna be null and null. So yeah. Next, you're gonna say SDL and actually create by saying SDL renderer render present. There you go. SDL renderer. Right. So the last argument is gonna present what we actually rendered so far. Everything else before that was just to give all the details it requires to do something. So now we can go back to our main function. And here you can simply create, or first you have to include the header file of the window. File, like this. And now you can create a window object, just like this. And after you've done that, you can also access the create window function. Should be it. Right, so I have to learn spelling, guys. There has been quite a few spelling mistakes I've been doing. Anyway, this should be it. Right, now we can run the entire program. And as you can see, the build has succeeded, but we don't get any window, right? And the reason for that is pretty much here. We have the main function, it's gonna call create window, we do all these things, but then that's it. It's gonna create the window and then return 0. Return 0 is pretty much meaning that it's gonna finish or exit the program. So right after the window has been created, it's gonna finish the program anyway. So there's nothing that's like holds or stops the program for a moment so that we can actually interact with the window. So how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna like put an image afterwards into the present window? I'll be showing you in the next tutorial. But so far, thank you for watching. I see you next time.